Hello everyone, hope everyone is safe and sound and staying at home. I'm Arita Haque and I'm once again back on a listener day with an English lesson. And the topic which we will be discussing about today is sentence and its types. So without any further delay, let's just get started. So at first, we will have a brief introduction about what a sentence is. What is it actually? So a sentence is nothing but a group of well-arranged words that makes a complete sense or meaning. For example, if I say, you blew jar like the, does it make any sense? No, it doesn't make any sense, and that's why it's not a sentence. Even though it's a group of words, but it's not a sentence because it's not making any sense. But if I say, you like the blue jar, by rephrasing it, then we can call it a sentence because it is making complete sense. I am telling you that you like a jar which is blue in color, which has a meaning. So yes, that's what we call a sentence. So to know about sentences, there are some basic elements of a sentence that we must know. So a sentence is mainly divided into two parts. They are the subject and the predicate. So the subject is the doer of an action in a sentence. The part of the sentence which names the person or thing about which something is said is called the subject. It is generally used in the beginning of a sentence. So now if we talk about the predicate, the part of a sentence which tells something about the subject is called the predicate. It is generally used at the very end of the sentence. So now let us have a look at the examples of a subject and a predicate. So the first example says, the sun was shining brightly. So in here, the sun is the subject because we are talking about the sun. And was shining brightly is telling something about the sun, the characteristics of the sun. It was shining brightly, and that is why it is the predicate. So now, while the examples are quite simple, we might as well have some exceptions. So the first exception in here is put the book here. So we are just randomly saying put the book here. There is no subject, but isn't this a sentence? Yes, it is, because it's making complete sense. Put the book here. I'm telling you to put the book here. So you are the subject, but it's not mentioned. And the action is being done. So it's a sentence as well. So now, as I already mentioned at the beginning, the topic we are discussing is sentence and its types. So here are the types. So there are 5 types of sentences. The first one is assertive sentence. The second one is interrogative sentence, also referred to as question sometimes. The third one is the optative sentence. The fourth one is the imperative sentence. And last but not the least, the exclamatory sentence. So now we will get to know about these. So first of all, we have assertive sentence. Now what is it? So assertive sentence is a sentence which is used to make a statement. It declares a fact or opinion, and it always ends with a full stop. So for example, he goes to school. This is a very plain, very clear statement that I am stating. The second one is she is singing a song. So this is also a statement. So that is what we call assertive sentences. Now, moving on to interrogative sentences. So a sentence which is used to ask a question is called an interrogative sentence. It's basically a question. So it asks a question and it ends with a question mark, of course, or sign of interrogation. So the examples are, what kind of music do you like? I'm asking you a question. What kind of music do you like? And then there's a question mark. The next one is, have you finished your homework? It's also an interrogative sentence. Now, moving on to imperative sentence. Now, what is it? So, an imperative sentence is used to make a command or an order or a piece of advice or a request. Or it can be a forbiddance also. So there are many things we consider as imperative. It can be a command, an order, a piece of advice, a request, or a forbiddance. So what are the examples? March on, commanding. Do it now, ordering. And there are more examples to it. If we say, please don't do it, it's a request. So it's also an imperative sentence. Now moving on to optative sentence. So a sentence which is used to express a wish or a prayer is called an optative sentence. So the first note is it expresses a wish or a prayer, and it ends also with a full stop. So here are the examples. So the first example is, wish you a happy journey. I'm wishing you something that wish you a happy journey. Perhaps you are traveling somewhere and I'm telling you, wish you a happy journey. The next one says, if I were the prime minister. Dreaming about being the prime minister. Interesting, isn't it? So now moving on to exclamatory sentence. So a sentence which is used to express a sudden feeling or emotion is called an exclamatory sentence. So the first note is it expresses a sudden feeling or emotion, and it ends with the exclamation mark or sign of exclamation. And it sometimes in interjection may be used in the beginning of it. Interjection sign is the exclamatory sign, so don't confuse it. So for example, how lucky you are. For example, my friend got a dress and my mom didn't let me buy it, so I was like, how lucky you are, expressing a sudden feeling, right? And the next one says, hurrah, we have won the match, expressing the feeling of joy, feeling of happiness, that hurrah, we have won the match. So this was all about what is a sentence and the types of it. And with this, we have reached the end of our video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. So see you in the next video. Thank you so much.